Good morning. Welcome to Fallawsophy. I'm your host, Jennifer Fallaw-Doering, and today we're going to put some things together. We are really at an exciting time. We are, and all of those of you who are waiting for financial change, waiting for the RV, waiting for gold and silver to go up, or for the countries to go to gold and all that, Nasara Jasara, it's happening. Okay? It is happening. Now, I guess I should wait a second for everybody to get in here. Before I put this together, my thoughts over coffee / Jentel, because we're going to go back and talk about a few things that Jentel for new people is just easier. It's a term Mike Barrett came up with because I do a show, Real News Live, on Rumble on Monday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. But it's a term he came up for confirmations. It's easier than saying information I got in interdimensional meditation, talking to God, Jesus, and the archangels. So, but that's what I do. And that's all there is to it. I'm not going to apologize for any of that. Over time, well, I've been doing this for a long time, but on his show, I started doing it for the transition, talking about the white hats and everything that was going on, because before I started doing his show, he was asking me questions behind the scenes because I knew his brother. And I was giving him information that insiders were saying was happening. But I didn't know anything about Q. I didn't know anything about the white hats. I didn't know anything about any of that stuff. And so what I was getting sounded way out there. But he's like, oh, that's what Q says. Oh, that's what they're saying. And I'm like, who is they? Who names themselves after a letter? And what is this all about? But time and time again, it just kind of it was accurate. And so it led me, and he said, why don't you do the show? And I said, okay. And I'm like, well, God, talk to God about it. And I was like, well, this really isn't my thing. It's my thing to help people that are searching for answers or need healing, or to bring people closer to God. That's my thing, spiritual stuff. And the answer that I got long ago, and I said, why have I been led to this place? Because it just, the information and everything just seems kind of dark, But I mean, the people in the movement weren't dark, but a lot of things they were talking about was, and I'm like, I've never been into politics. Everybody fights, and I don't like fighting. And he said, what better place to shed some light than down in the trenches? And I'm like, okay. I don't know why I'm here, but we'll just keep doing this. Okay. And along the way, people needed hope. People needed answers. When the election was stolen, I believe there was a easier plan, probably. Or probably on a plan B. But along the way, when the election was stolen, we stepped into what's called an interregnum. I believe that's what and Dave Barra, when we were putting 2 and 2 together from information that I received at the time, said that is what we're in. So they've split the presidential responsibilities. They've allowed this person to take care of a few things and be the singer in the band. But As far as the military and the real major decisions, that would be handled behind the scenes, and we will, because at that point in time, okay, still too many cabal, still too many bad guys. There's a lot to clean up. Let's just do this whole thing behind the scenes as much as we can. And things will probably get bad because of the singer and the band. But we will accomplish more this way. And if we were to do it, out front of everybody, we might suffer more losses and we might not be successful. But this worldwide operation has gone on, and then everybody came out and started talking about devolution and everything else after that. Has gone on for a long time. And some people say too long. But the result of that is going to be success financially. And then politically, they just pull them out when time's right. Okay, they got enough reason to pull people out. It was the financial that was the real power. Influence as well, programming. And along the way, they've chipped away at that, got people to question. And I've never really bought this. Well, not enough people are awake. We can't do this yet. There are not enough people awake. That's an excuse. No, that's not it. Because you could have put stuff out in the public eye to wake people up real quick. But we can't have that. Not when you're already running a behind-the-scenes operation to get rid of the big bad guys who control the money. So, I don't know how far back to go on this. So, over the years, I've been coming out here several times a week and going into meditation and asking. I have the ability to project my consciousness. I'm a medical intuitive. I'm a healer. Basically, I like to say, and I don't like the term psychic, but, I'm really more of a prophet. But I don't like the ego attached to that. I'd have to start wearing sashes, get some big chair, big picture of myself up on a stage, start talking weird. And the word that I got, I don't like that. All right? Not saying anything bad about anybody who does that, but it's just not my thing, okay? Tend to be a little more reserved. It just is what it is. No, Charlie. And the cat's in here. It just is what it is. And I try my best to give people hope. All right, you're going to have to go now. You can't do that. Give people hope and answers and keep us all going. And me going too. You're all survivors. Look how far we've come. So many times I thought, oh my God, I can't take this anymore. I can't take this anymore. I can't take. Well, okay. All right, give me something. Give me something so I can keep going. I need to know what's going on behind the scenes because there's nothing but bad in front of me on the news and everywhere else. And so me and many other truthers have come out and done our very best. Me psychically. And other truthers with their inside contacts. I don't really have any inside contacts other than God and Jesus and archangels. And that comes from many years of just forming a very strong faith, a love, a friendship, and an internal communication. It started when I was widowed at 36 and my children were 4 and 7. My husband was killed by a drunk driver on his way home from work. Bam, gone. I was like, okay, this is big. I don't know. I can't fail them. I can't fail the kids. God, you got to help me with this. And so there's this ongoing conversation that started in my head. And over time, I learned to listen. And whether I come out, it's always going to come through your human filter when you learn to listen. It's going to be you're going to hear, sometimes you put words in their mouth. If you really want something and the answer is no, it's hard to put. So, well, you say yes, yes, we're getting that, yes. So that's the struggle with intuitive people and spiritual people trying to come out here and give you answers. And so along the way, I've won big and I've lost big, but you need to be okay with being wrong. And understand that as connected as you are, it's still going to come through that human filter. And it's still, you got to put aside the programming and try to be brave enough to come out and spit it out and open enough to hear the truth. And you're going to have to get it wrong along the way so you know what truth feels like. Fast forward. So I'm not new. People are like, oh, who's this? Because I got shared by a couple cool people. And, but I'm not new. Just doing my best over here, people. And sometimes we get really cool information. So let's put some 2 and 2 together. A long time ago, I saw Donald Trump. And this was really cool, by the way, because I was told by God when I went in meditation, I was talking to God. Yes, you can do that. And I was told that it was time to really trust. And he told me that, I think I don't know how many years ago it was now. Sometime in 21, I think. That it was either 5 or 6 p.m. Donald Trump would sit down in the helicopter on the White House lawn and be sworn in the interregnum as the true president. And I saw a short guy, kind of looked like Jeff Sessions, really. I really don't know if it was. I saw him from the side. They were in an aircraft, and he was being sworn in. Then Phil Godlewski, and then sweating bullets. So I came out there and I said, wrong or right, I'm not supposed to make excuses for this. I'm just supposed to put it out. There it is. I'm supposed to trust God now. And it was the coolest thing. It was the coolest thing because I'm like, okay, I got to distract myself. I had to go the whole day till 5 or 6 p.m. or whatever it was. And then 5 or 6 p.m. comes around and there's an unscheduled landing on the White House lawn. And then Phil Godlewski, who has gotten popular over time, came out and did a live at the time and told us, I believe he told us that Donald Trump was sworn in. And I just went, oh my God, that is the coolest thing. Thank you for that, God. Yes, I will trust. Yes, I'll try my best. So we know that we've had this dual presidency. Everybody accepts that. But we get to a time when it gets real, when we have to trust that something good has actually happened by the true president behind the scenes that's going to affect all of our lives in a very positive way. It's very hard to be brave and believe that. It's very hard to trust. Well, last night, Phil Godlewski came out, did live. I don't care what your opinions are about people's personal lives. The truth is, their personal business is none of yours. That's the way it is. Just like your personal business is none of mine. Okay, people used to have manners and used to have a little class. Okay, you watch the video to get the intel. If he wants to put out stuff before that, that's completely up to him. Everybody's trying to make a living. All right. Last night he put out a live and I was watching it. Actually, I learned a lot about silver and things like that. If you want to go watch it, if you don't want to, you can't spend the whole time, at least get the second half, because at the very end, I'm like, hit me with it. Then at the very end, I'm like, boom, there it is. There it is. So he came out and said that Donald Trump had signed the United States into BRICS. Like, really? Well, that is just so freaking cool because over the let me get the Gentels. Okay, we're gonna go over the Gentels and the stuff that I've received that didn't actually say that. But when he said that, it made sense out of what I was getting. And I get this stuff and I come out here and I have no idea if it makes any sense at all. And I'm like, okay, I hope this makes sense. I hope this comes to fruition because otherwise I'm going to look like an idiot. But okay, so let me find the Jentel where this was talked about. Not that one. No, not that one. Okay. On 4/2/24, for RV News for Jentel, interdimensional meditation, sixth level of heaven, Archangel Gabriel, Michael was talking to them. It said most bonds have been paid and NDAs signed. We are waiting for a document to be signed for the currency side of the RV, to proceed with the currency side of the RV. I heard two places. I heard Pakistan, haven't seen anything about that yet, but I heard USA. Wednesday is the estimated signature date. So this was on 4/2. I assumed it was that Wednesday. Week off, close enough. All right. Stuff is hard. Okay. Dates are hard. Wednesday is the estimated signature date. Rates posted after that. So, didn't happen last Wednesday. I don't know if it happened last Wednesday, but I don't think it did. I don't think it did. So then Phil comes out last night, and he shows where the U.S. dollar jumped. I think he got inside intel on this. Just telling you. Trust my instincts, okay? And then went and did the work to show you without saying it. Okay? Wednesday. What day was it yesterday? It was Wednesday. Yeah, it was. And he showed us that the US dollar jumped in value. Why the heck would it do that? And he explained it very well. So you go in there and get that part of it from him. Because I'm going to screw it up somehow trying to explain that. But he explained it very well. But there's absolutely no reason for that to happen right now. And you look around you and you can see inflation. Everything's ridiculous. He said probably about 8 or 9 a.m. Eastern yesterday, Wednesday, Donald Trump signed the United States up to BRICS. I received information a long time ago that Donald Trump is like the chief financial officer for the alliance. Of all the world leaders, who would you put in that position? Donald Trump. So, chief financial officer, interregnum, signed us up, dollar jumps. Makes perfect sense to me. Let's see. God, there's so much information to tie all together, and I didn't make a chart. Okay, so we're just going off the top of my head here. Now, a while back, when it comes to the RV, and for those listening, are like, what's the RV? The RV is revaluation of currencies worldwide, basically, and so people would exchange their foreign currencies for US dollars, and redeem their bonds, or whatever currency they're exchanging for. Um, a long time ago, so everybody's been talking about the QFS, how safe it is. And I got a long time ago that, because people asked a lot about what would go on in these exchange appointments, okay? I got a long time ago that the way it's set up, okay? So the Treasury is the one that holds the QFS account, okay? That's why it's safe, because unless the country just goes kaput, it's there and you can hand it down. It's not at the bank where they can go under and you can lose it or whatever. It's probably the safest place you could have it. And then I also got that the Treasury no longer can hold fake money as it relates to this QFS account, to this redemption, to the exchange. Okay. So that you would have this account, and then the redemption centers contract with the Treasury, and then the big banks contract, I believe, with the redemption centers to get everybody's business, because you have to have a vehicle to move the money out of that quantum financial account into regular banking system, so you can move it around, buy a house, pay for things, pay the bills, move it into regular checking accounts, all that. So you've got a holding account with a large bank who has enough money and to have those big accounts, and has authorization to pull money at your request out of the QFS and put it in your holding account. Now, if it can't hold fake money, let me ask you this. So we're going to go in and exchange this foreign currency because their country's gone to gold and their currency now has more value, correct? We're going to go in and we're going to do that, and we're going to get monopoly money for it. And we're going to put that in the QFS account. We're going to call it safe. And then in a month or so, the country goes to gold, and that's not worth anything. Oh, we'll just exchange it over for the gold at that. No. Different level of finance here. They're trying to eliminate all the bad stuff that went on with the fiat system. And if it is an account that will stand the test of time, and there are things done behind the scenes, then the U.S. Treasury would give you notes, U.S. gold-backed notes, before it's announced in your QFS Treasury account. And until such time, I did see a period of time where we'll have both currencies going around. You'll have two prices on things, but then we will eventually revalue and go to gold, and we'll have our exchange for us. But I think it's like just straight across or something like that. I got that one U.S. gold-backed note was worth 27 fiat dollars. So, if it is true that they are putting gold-backed notes in your QFS Treasury account, how could they do that if it's not a recognized currency? They'll calculate your exchange in fiat dollars, but then what they put in that account has to be solid. It has to be real money. How could they do that unless there was some documentation somewhere that says this is legitimate money? We have to have something like that in place before the country announces that it's going to gold. Because that's your RV window, isn't it? When the rest of the countries go to gold, or whatever countries they are, And we don't. There's your RV window. That's where you make your money. Because as soon as the US goes to gold, it's probably going to be up higher than the other ones, than the other countries, right? And these QFS accounts are for the RV, correct? They know where we're going. And if he did that now, Donald Trump, as the chief financial officer for the country and the alliance, or who has the control over that, would have to sign something, wouldn't he? To make sure that when it's time for the rest of the countries to go to gold, and we do this RV, that gold backed currency is legitimate in the eyes of the Treasury. So I say sign it. I say sign it. That makes me very happy. Like, come on. That's just freaking cool. Charles, I don't even know what you want right now, but you're not supposed to bug me during the show. This cat. He's 13. He doesn't care. So if that indeed happened, which it did, we're off and running. The timeline that I originally saw, now as far as dates, this thing has been pushed off. It's very frustrating. Everybody's just sick to death of the dates, but you keep asking me for them, so I keep throwing them out there. Okay, so it's always as of this moment in time. Okay, unless somebody screws it up. I got about the date for Iraq to what we're looking for today. So is either a posting to the Forex, if that is not possible, some kind of announcement. Even if that announcement comes on Monday and the act was actually done on the 11th, I'm taking it. I'm calling Jentel confirm. Okay. But right now, because that happened, it's full speed ahead. What you're going to see is other countries just going to gold, going to gold, going to gold, going to gold, announcements. Okay. Right now, we're looking for something out of Iraq to kick the whole thing off. So keep your eyes peeled for today. I got originally that happening between the 1st and the 12th. Then I got, where's that? Let me look back so I don't want to misquote myself. Where was that? Recently. Jentel 410. Was that yesterday? Yeah, it was. Iraq has made a decision to move forward with new denominations to their money. So we're looking for some kind of announcement. We're looking for a rate change, drop in zeros, whatever you want. That's going to kick it off. Charlie, out, 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 out. What is wrong? Go lay down. Go lay down. Anyway, that's not very professional. Go lay down. And then let's see, what else do we have? We had about the 11th. Got a lot of Jentel confirms lately. Oh, I also got back on 325. I said, when do we go to gold? He said, and the angels do this sometimes so that they'll bypass what I'm. So I don't think I put words in their mouth. They'll say it in a different way. They'll use different words. They'll use an old term, from a different generation. And he said, May Day. Because when is May Day? So I looked it up, May 1st. I got over and over again that it was the estimated timeline to go to gold in May. Seems a little soon right now, but the other countries have to go to gold first. We do the RV, we get that all put away, they pull out the actor in a very big White House, and then we go to gold. The USA will have to go to gold to compete or to do business with the rest of the world. It's inevitable. Okay? So if we know that some paperwork, and it's like, well, why? And then sometimes you ask yourself, well, why is that information? Why isn't it more specific when you say there is a document that needs to be signed to proceed with the currency side of the RV? Okay, what document? Who's signing it? Blah, blah, blah. Why isn't it more specific? Well, maybe it has to be, not that many people are watching me, but maybe so I don't get myself in trouble or I don't screw anything up. But Donald Trump signing us into BRICS tells you that it's all happening, and I'm on board with that. I don't jump on bandwagons, and I just say, well, let's wait and see, But along the way, I've learned to trust. I have learned to trust. And I screw up and I fall down and I get scared and all that other stuff. But along the way, I get back to it. Hey, wait a minute. How does this feel? Does it feel like truth? Does it make sense? This piece of information that Phil put out last night is the other half of the information that I received. There will be a document that needs to be signed in order to proceed with the currency side of the RV. That makes perfect sense to me. And the timing does as well. And if that is indeed true, the ball is rolling. And this is very good news. What's that? What'd you say? Let's hope for that. Well, then you are late to class. And you are playing the same old game that they've had us playing forever. You are not trusting your instincts. That's all I gotta say about that. And you said I don't care about his personal business before that, and the next breath we get this. Go sit down. Go sit down. Catch up. All right. Let's get rid of that. It's annoying. Okay. So, everything's starting to come together. All the puzzle pieces are starting to come together from the Jentel that I've received over time and what other people are saying. I purposely don't watch a lot of things. All these, I don't have time for that, for one. But, if I'm not doing this kind of work, I'm doing housework or feeding people or whatever. I'm just busy every minute of every day, and then I crash at night. So, major points. No, I don't want spam call. Let's get back to what else I was going to say. So, we have had many Jentel confirms, easier to say, lately. The earthquakes, all kinds of things. And how could I be so tuned in with that within a day we get these confirms all over our news feeds and everything, and be so wrong about this? Didn't see any catastrophic events for the eclipse. Now, more countries will go to gold. And then I got, which is very interesting about how big BRICS is getting. And then the country with the most amount of gold, which I thought was surprising because I thought it'd be like Saudi Arabia or something, joins BRICS behind the scenes. That will be announced when it's time. But we have to have our RV window. They can't sell you or everybody around the world with their foreign currencies and not give you anything for it. They can say, well, sorry, that's not worth anything anymore. All those bonds too, you can't do that. For some reason they got to pull it all back in. I got on 4/8 that the World Bank is now alliance. So we've got a split, just like we have a split in the presidency. We have a split in the world financial system. BRICS is growing. We've got something called the World Bank, which I wasn't very familiar with. That is now under alliance control. The old central bank I got was in countries and are trying, let's see, typed up version. I didn't put that there. Okay. The old central bank system is trying to bribe other countries to stay with them, trying to come up with financial reforms, trying to come up with new ways. Oh, yeah, just stay over here with us. That's all scary and woo woo, that whole gold thing, They're all crazy. Just stay with us. Trying somehow to survive. Nobody goes for it. Okay, everybody jumps on board with being sovereign and having their own money and not being controlled by the central banks. That's all dying. The old system dies. Gold, precious metals, and minerals, that was surprising, are the new money of the future. That was on 4/8. Now, just a thought. If BRICS are they the World Bank? Are they becoming the World Bank? Are they the alliance? People are starting to call them that. See how it's all kind of just coming together now? And one by one, we're going to have one more country, and more countries announce they're going to gold. And I think that's going to happen rapidly. I don't think we're going to have to wait a long time for that. I think Iraq. So what I actually saw, and then in readings yesterday, people asked me about it. What I saw was, I actually saw somebody going to an appointment on the 18th. And he said, you told me a long time ago that it would be a Thursday that I'd call. And you saw me in my office calling. And I'm like, did I? Because I forget a lot. There's a lot. I talk to a lot of people. So what I saw was some kind of announcement from Iraq. Really hoping for today. I really felt it was going to come today. I don't know if they're going to post to the Forex. I felt that the change in their currency was going to be a gift to the Iraqi people. You're going to get a street rate. You're going to get something. Or it could just be an announcement saying, we're going to use our new currency now. So basically saying, we've gone to gold. And then you might not see it on the Forex till Monday or whatever. Sunday, if that's their Monday. Then I saw a series of days, maybe 3 or 4 days, 2 or 3 maybe, where things are floating. So that may be when the other countries come out and say, oh, yeah, we're going to gold too. And this one, and that one, and this one. And then we've got our basket. And then, boom, you get notifications, call and make your appointment. That's kind of how I'm seeing it going. Now, if somebody comes out, screws everything up, and blows the world up, or half of it, sorry. I don't know what to tell you. You know, one day at a time, people. But everything from the Jentel that I've been getting, and I'm starting to see old Jentel come to the surface now. This is getting fun. I'm having fun now. Because there were times when I was going for a long time without confirmations, and I'm like, okay, okay, God, can we give me a little confirmation? And people are like, wow, why are you getting so many Jentel confirmations lately? I'm like, because I asked for it. Because I prayed for it. I'm like, okay, having a hard time. And I could really use a boost. And maybe if we could just get some Jentel confirms out there, that'd be cool. Boom, boom, boom. Sometimes you got to take your hands off of things and you got to give it to God. And that's when you'll get your results. So I'm excited. I mean, things are going good. I mean, I believe it. I believe he did sign that. I believe he is doing things behind the scenes. And from what I see, things are going to look turbulent for a while, okay? Out there on the horizon, in the news, things like that. There was some Jentel about cells coming out. Hidden cells of people emerge, all right? That could be everybody they flooded the border with, try to create chaos to stop something, like the removal of somebody or even an announcement of something. Be prepared for that. I do believe that's why, and it wasn't the eclipse. I think that's why the National Guard was notified to stand ready. Here it is. 4/8, Iraq. Post a raid on 4/11. I heard gift to the people after or for the holidays. How confident are we about that today? Really very. Oh my goodness. Do we have any news yet? Anything happened yet? Later in the day. Later in the day, pray it in. Okay? Not for yourselves, for me. But sometimes you just gotta be brave. You know what? If I'm wrong, whatever. It also on 4/8 we had everybody is watching Russia for the storm to begin. I thought this is very important. This is very interesting. Russia pulls the trigger on the storm. And I was telling you a long time ago on the air, I got Joe Biden. Oh, sorry, I probably shouldn't have said that. If I get banned or something. Will be removed for trying to start a world war, or when he tries to start a world war. We have seen that happening. They've been trying with everything they've got to do that. I was so excited last night. Well, on a personal note, all glory to God, Jesus, okay? All glory to Jesus and God and everybody else. But, it's kind of nice when you get recognized. People were sharing my stuff yesterday. That was totally cool. I was just like, that was a little fun for me. But aside from that, I was totally excited after that live. I was like, oh my God, I got this pang of truth. That hit me like truth. I said, he's not just speculating because Phil Godlewski, he's not just speculating because he saw a rise in the dollar. He went to look for that rise in the dollar because somebody told him something. Just like somebody told him that somebody would be sworn in on the lawn of the White House, and then little old me over here that nobody's watching put that out on that day, and it's sitting there, okay, I'm trusting in God. I don't know if this is going to happen. I'm going to look like an idiot. And then he comes out and says that. He wasn't watching me. Truth will find a way to the surface. And when you feel it, you will know immediately. And just after that, the doubt will set in and tell you you're wrong. Trust your first instinct. All right, we got 7 minutes. I got some, well, more like 5, so I can get to the headphones before somebody calls me. I have a client. I'm going to continue to do this. Oh, I should do some kind of self-promotion, shouldn't I? I always forget to do that. All right. Banners. This is my website. I do readings. The strongest of my gifts is medical intuitive. I work with Jesus. It's almost like a mediumship reading. Jesus standing there. It's kind of like a hologram kind of image. It's not like, and people come to me to find out what is wrong with them when the doctors can't find out what is wrong. And what I do is a scan from head to toe. I take a look inside the body. It kind of looks like a silhouette to me. And Jesus will basically highlight, like in medical drawings, certain areas. And I'll talk to him and I say, okay, what's going on here? And so I will give you a basic explanation of what I see wrong and what I see happening in the body. It's not going to be, I'm not a doctor. I cannot diagnose anything, but I can tell you what I see. And that's a lot of the reason why people come to me. A lot of people come to me because the doctors can't find out what's wrong. And then they take that information and they take it back to the doctor and they get the problem fixed. I also do healings. I do readings. Things have been, although I've been very busy, it's probably most of the stuff, the gift cards I sold over the holidays. But things have been slow for me, just like everybody else. So go on over to jenniferfallaw.com. The healings are like on a ridiculous sale right now. I do people, pets, and those are done in meditation. I don't like people to know when I do it because their will gets in the way. They're like, oh yes, I'm participate in this. No. The healing is done on a soul level with God, Jesus, and the archangels present, and lots of angels present actually. And then transfers down to the body. Yeah, do that. Please like my show, subscribe to my channel, and also meet us over on Telegram. We're having a ball over there. That's where everybody's at. That's where everybody's talking about everything. So I am Fallawsophy on Telegram. If you see a post with that philosophy on it, that was me. Some people are sharing my posts and they're retyping them up under their own name and sharing them. Just share it. If people come back to my channel, that's just nice. But if you're going to retype it up, make sure the words are exact, because on some of these things that I say, it's information I got from the angels. And so and some of the words really have more meaning later. And if somebody changes the words, it makes a difference. All right. Sorry I didn't have time to get to questions today. I join me over on Philosophy on Telegram. I also have a Jennifer Fallaw-Doering channel over there that I don't have a banner for. That's where I post all the shows that I've done and the Jentel notes next to it. So that's a clean feed. You can just go scroll back and say, what did she say a couple weeks ago? And you can scroll back to that Jentel and either watch the show. It's always good to watch the show because it's explained. Okay. We're still looking this week for rivers running over or down. Illegals in the U.S. create or are banned for some kind of problem. I saw warehouse or silo explosions and fires. I didn't really quite know where that was. Watch the tides. I think we're probably past that, but just keep an eye on the weather and what's going on around you with flooding and tides and things like that. This one I didn't understand. Ringer takes the fall. Michael said that. Archangel Michael. Ringer takes the fall. And then also ingenious invention. So those, I don't know what those were. There will be an attempt to rekindle race wars or spark a race war. And then everyone's watching Russia to start this storm thing. So that's in the news this week. Today we're looking for a rate anytime through now and the 15th. If the rate's posted, I'll take it. Close enough. But that's the update for today. And it makes perfect sense that Donald Trump, as the true commander-in-chief, the chief financial officer for the alliance, would have signed us into BRICS so that the currency that the U.S. at your exchange that the U.S. Treasury is going to hold for your redemption and your exchange is legitimate. And if that happened now, we're on, and this RV's happening. Buckle up. Here we go. Thanks for watching me. Gotta get going. Got a client. I'll be back on again on Monday on Real News Live with Mike Barra on Rumble. Have a great day. Hang on. Let's get back over here. These pop-ups keep coming up and I can't get to my stuff. All right. Have a great day.